Jacob is alone. Night. Wind. River. 20 years of running end here. Jabbok. Darkness. Breath. A shadow moves. Not a greeting. An attack. They collide. Hard. Into the dirt. No speeches. No mercy. Just a fight. Before sunrise, he will limp. But he will not be the same. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for taking a moment to watch. On this channel, we explore hidden meanings and deeper layers of biblical stories. Not just what happened, but why it happened. If these kinds of stories speak to you, feel free to subscribe and join us. In this video, you will discover why Jacob's struggle was unavoidable, who he really wrestled with that night, and why God wounded him instead of helping him. By the end of this story, you may see this moment, and perhaps your own struggles, very differently. Jacob's story does not begin with courage. It begins with deception. From the very start, Jacob is a man who survives by outsmarting others. He lies. He manipulates. He runs. Even his name reflects this. Jacob, the deceiver. And for years, it works. Until the night comes when running is no longer possible. 20 years, 2 decades of running, of building a new life, of trying to outpace a shadow. But some shadows are bound to you. For Jacob, that shadow has a name. Esau, the brother whose birthright he stole, whose blessing he deceived their father into giving him. Now, the years of exile are over. Word has come that Esau is on his way to meet him, and he's not alone. He comes with 400 men. Is this an honor guard or an army? A welcome or a reckoning? Jacob doesn't know, and the not knowing is a poison seeping into every thought. The weight of this impending collision hangs heavy in the desert air, a storm gathering on the horizon of his life. In a desperate, calculated move, he divides his life's work. He sends his family ahead, splitting them into 2 camps. A grim strategy born of fear. If Esau attacks one, perhaps the other might escape. He sends his servants, his flocks, his wealth, everything he has spent 20 years accumulating. He watches them cross the dark, murmuring waters of the Jabbok ford, their torchlight a fragile procession against the immense, swallowing darkness. Each step they take away from him is a step he takes deeper into isolation. He is systematically stripping himself of every shield, every buffer he has, and then he is left alone. The last torch disappears. The final footstep fades. The only sounds are the rushing water and the frantic beating of his own heart. This is not just a physical moment. This is the moment Jacob can no longer hide behind plans, lies, or strategies. He is finally exposed. Here, on the edge of the promised land, on the border of his past and future, he is stripped of his family, his wealth, his identity as a patriarch. He is just a man, alone in the dark, waiting for a dawn that might bring either forgiveness or destruction. The night is deep, and he is about to learn that the brother he fears is not the only one he will have to face before the sun rises. And then, without warning, someone attacks him. No explanation, no introduction, just a struggle. All night long, they wrestle. And here is the strange part. Jacob does not let go. Even when the stranger wounds him, Jacob holds on.
At dawn, the stranger says, "Let me go."
But Jacob answers something remarkable. "I will not let you go unless you bless me."
This is the moment everything changes. Jacob is no longer fighting to win. He is fighting because he finally knows he cannot survive unchanged. The long night of wrestling is over. The physical battle has reached its exhausted, painful conclusion. Jacob, wounded and weary, clings to the stranger, refusing to let go until he receives a blessing. The sky begins to bleed with the first hints of dawn, a soft purple bruising the edges of the darkness. The air is still, the sounds of their struggle replaced by a heavy, expectant silence. But the true confrontation, the one that will define Jacob for all time, has only just begun. It won't be a contest of strength, but a trial of the soul.
Then comes the question. It is not a shout, but a quiet, piercing demand that cuts through the morning mist. A question that defines the entire story. What is your name?
It is a question that asks for more than a name. It demands an identity, a confession. God already knows the answer, of course. He has known Jacob from the moment he was formed, from the instant he grabbed his twin brother's heel in their mother's womb. But knowledge is not the point. The point is the admission. The truth must come from Jacob's own lips. He must finally face the man he has been his entire life.
In that moment, every deception, every shortcut, every lie weighs on him. To speak his name is to own it all. The stolen birthright, the stolen blessing, a lifetime of running. With a breath that feels like it's torn from his very soul, he finally speaks the truth. I am Jacob.
The deceiver, the supplanter, the one who grabs, the one who runs. In that single broken admission, Jacob lays down the entire weight of his past. He stops wrestling against God and finally surrenders his own flawed identity. And it is only in this moment of total, honest vulnerability, after the confession is made, that God can give him a new name, a new future, Israel. Not the deceiver, but the one who struggles with God. It is a name that doesn't erase the struggle, but honors it. It acknowledges the wound, the fight, the long, dark night. It is a name of transformation. He is no longer defined by what he takes, but by what he has endured. He is no longer Jacob, the one who runs from his past, but Israel, the one who has wrestled with God and prevailed, forever changed by the encounter. Jacob walks away wounded. He limps, and that limp becomes the sign of his transformation. God did not remove his weakness. He gave it meaning, because sometimes the wound is the proof that the struggle mattered. Jacob did not defeat God. He met him, and in that meeting, Jacob became someone new. Thank you for watching, and if this story resonated with you, you're always welcome here.